sun's out and I'm in London. But guess what? This may not last. So if you're traveling via the underground, make sure to carry an umbrella or brolly and or a rain jacket, because the weather is completely temperamental in London. Now, looking at this tube map, it looks rather daunting, doesn't it? I agree, but with a bit of practice and a bit of research, it's actually pretty simple to navigate. Tourists, I know, yes, you do tend to stick to zone 1, but here's a bit of advice. Why don't you venture out a bit further? If you go right up to the central line, right here, there's Epping Forest. And if you go right down to the district line, you have Richmond, which has a stunning park. There are 11 lines.
Bakerloo, Central, Circle, District, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee, Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly, Victoria, Waterloo and City. So get to know the tube map well. You can get a free copy of the tube map from the tube station, and they are really handy.
And yes, they have distinct colors, but we don't refer to the lines as their color. We don't say that's the green line or that's the red line. And in America, yes, they refer to the system as the subway or the metro, but we refer to it as the underground. This guide is really handy because it shows you what your travel costs are. Now, peak times are from 6:30 to 9:30 in the morning and from 4 to 7 in the afternoon. But this only applies to weekdays. So you can travel at any time of the weekend. There is no differentiation between peak and off-peak on the weekend. Now, off-peak during the weekday especially is much quieter and much cheaper. So if you can travel off-peak, I highly suggest that you do, because believe me, you don't want to be under somebody's sweaty armpit when the tube is crowded. I've been there and it's stinky and not a great place to be. You want to escape that. So definitely travel off-peak. Get new cards. You select the number that you needed if in case you need to. Confirm. Preparing your Oyster card, you'd say how much you need, and that's the cost, and then you would pay, and it's as simple as that. Love using the Oyster card. It's really quick and easy. So if I need to check how much money I actually have on the Oyster card, I simply do this.
You tap your Oyster on the reader, you select how much you want to add, and then you can determine how you want to make payment via your card or coins.
On this machine, you can pay with coins, and if you want to use your debit or credit card, you can use this part. You can pay by debit or credit card or anything that a card that has contactless sign on it.
Pay attention to where you're going, because you can easily get lost, and everything takes practice. You have a few trips on the tube and it'll become very easy for you to use. You can see the Hammersmith and City, Metropolitan and Circle lines. It tells you which platforms to look at, and the direction is quite clear.
Dogs also travel on the London Underground. If you are traveling on the Bakerloo line, make sure to carry some water or a fan if need be, because it's really hot and really stuffy and you will need it. So on the air conditioned light, which is the very quality light.
This train is ready to depart. Please stand clear of the doors. Please move right down inside the car. This train is ready to leave.
Make sure you listen to the announcements because it helps you determine the next stops.
Will not open at the next station. Please use other doors.
Make sure you hold these poles tight if you are standing, because when the train stops, you can jerk forward very fast. So if you are standing, make sure to hold these really tight. I've had experiences where I think last time I was being flung. So even though it's called the underground, sometimes the tube actually does go overground, meaning that the train doesn't always pass through a tunnel that's underground. Sometimes you will be traveling above ground as well. So don't be surprised when you start seeing green fields and buildings.
Hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel.
Priority seats, please allow for people that are pregnant, less able to stand. Remember, not all disabilities are visible. Above you can see the route, the direction that your train is going towards, and the other lines available at specific train stations.
Is King's Cross and Pancras.
So when you're traveling, especially down the escalators, you need to make sure that you please stand on the right so that people who are rushing can walk on the left. This applies to the escalators going up as well as the escalators going down, so that there's a good flow of people being able to travel.
Make sure you hold the rail, especially with young children. The tube is very orderly. Everybody knows where to walk.
So the train is on the platform and you are rushing towards the train. You're running as fast as you can. But don't rush, because soon there will be another train available for you to hop on. I'm at Liverpool Street at the moment and I need to get a connecting train. So as you can see up above, it shows you the way out, and it also shows you the central line, and then it also shows you the way to get to the overground trains. So that's really helpful to know.
Unfortunately, not all tube stations have lifts, so sometimes you'll have to carry the pram or you'll have to carry your very heavy luggage. So just be aware of that, because you don't want to be caught off guard, especially if you're not very mobile. Sometimes there are many stairs. If you are traveling with a baby or a person in a wheelchair, then try to look for the signage which says lifts, because that will help ease your journey. Sometimes they aren't easily in sight, so you'll have to look carefully.
People are getting off the train, so when you are trying to get onto the train, make sure that you allow people to get off first. So when you are exiting, make sure that you tap out, because if you don't tap out, you will have a penalty and you don't want to do that. So also remember that if you have traveled a number of times during a particular day, your oyster will be capped as well, which means that
will be charged the maximum fee. So afterwards, if you want to do your 8th trip, for instance, you won't be charged for those trips.
Also, if you see an elderly person traveling on the tube, or pregnant person, or person that has a disability, please offer your seat to them. Now, you've on the underground and you're exiting and you are so confused. You can see a person that works on the Transport for London and you're a bit nervous to ask them for help. Don't be. They are extremely friendly and are so willing to help. So do chat to them and ask them for guidance about your train journey. But there's also City Mapper, an app on your phone which you can use, and it's really handy to know how to move around in London.
그래 미소에 난 취한 것 같아 자꾸만 웃음이 나
If you're on the tube and you are lost and you don't know whether you should actually get off at the next stop or not, simply ask the passenger that's sitting next to you. Yes, Londoners don't talk on the tube, but they are really helpful and they will assist you. So simply ask them, should I get off on the next stop? This is where I'm heading.
You've arrived at the tube station, but you're unsure of which exit to actually use. So just be cognizant that many tube stations may have various exit points. So plan ahead. So the great thing about the underground is that there is fantastic signage which helps you.
See it, say it, sort it. If you do notice any antisocial behavior on the tube, please make sure that you do report it. There are also announcements on the underground. As you can see with the poster, the TfL, they really do take offences seriously, and they are there to support you if you do have a bad experience. So thank you for watching the video about the London Underground. I hope that you enjoyed it. My name is Kish. I'm a new YouTuber. I am South African and British. My channel is about life in the UK and traveling in the UK. So please do subscribe. I'd really appreciate your support. And as always, keep well.